Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you have a wonderful Friday so far. Here in central Pennsylvania it is raining, as you can tell. Today we're going to be covering something that has to do with the 2016 and on up GM trucks. You can probably apply that to the SUVs as well. Maybe even the cars, I'm not sure. And we're also going to be covering the Kreamer dragstrip again. Apparently the location I showed you last week was wrong. But that location is what I've always been told is the Kreamer dragstrip. Apparently I wasn't too far away from it actually. And we're also going to be covering what you can do to help you get into your vehicle if you get locked out. Anyway, if you have a 2016 and newer GM truck, then this is for you. You're driving down the road and your XM screen, your MyLink screen, whatever you want to call this, it goes black, comes back on, and these little buttons down here, they don't light up. But you can still play music. You just can't see what station you have. Several things you can do. One, when the vehicle is parked, turn off your vehicle, turn it back on. That should reset it. Of course, wait a few seconds. Or, I also came across a solution. Find your OnStar buttons here on this truck. It's located up here on the rear mirror. You got your SOS, your actual OnStar, and whatever heck this guy's supposed to be. What you want is this guy. What you do is push them. It'll come on. It'll say a few things. Wait a few seconds, and then push it again to turn it off. Those two solutions didn't work for me, especially the last one. I'm not sure if I misunderstood the video or didn't do something or what. But I think I know what my problem was, but we'll get to that in a minute. Another problem might be this connection. And I'll show you where it could be. What you want to do is locate and access your glove box here. It's held in together by a couple of screws. One here, and one here, and hang on a minute, there's two at the bottom. See if I can find it. And let's see. Oh, there it is. I missed it. One here where my finger is. Sorry about that, folks. And the other one's over here. So 6 altogether, and they appear to be a number 10 Torx bit or torque bit, whatever you want to call it. It looks something like this. Now that the glove box is off, and it comes out really easy. Just gotta yank on it just a little bit. I'll show you what that looks like. What you're after is, I hope you can see it in the video, is this little control module here. What you want is the blue connector. That connects, sorry folks, that controls the XM radio. What you want to do is maybe pull it out, but pull it out by the blue connector. Don't pull it out by the wires themselves. You run the risk of yanking the wires out. Just pull on the connector, the plastic connector, and put it back in. And then reinstall your glove box. Well, there you go, folks. The glove box is all in. Now, when you go ahead and put these screws back, You don't need to go hog wild on tightening them. Just finger tight will do. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Oh, you didn't pull that blue connector out. No, I didn't. I don't think that was my issue. What I think my issue was a bad battery. Now, I think a good rule of thumb, and keep in mind, this is just my opinion, that if you get a vehicle older than, say, 5 years, you might want to replace the battery. I mean, you don't know if it's been replaced or not. Kind of a peace of mind, I guess you can say. On these trucks, it's kind of an involved process. I'll show you here real quick. I wonder when this rain will stop. Here we are. What you need is a 10mm socket, a 13mm socket, a couple extensions, a ratchet wrench, a flathead screwdriver, and I believe maybe a 10mm wrench. Yes, I believe a 10mm wrench. What you want to do first is take off this bar here, 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 and there's one down below there, right there. That is a 13mm. And then, of course, disconnect the battery next. Negative side, that is a 10mm. And of course, the positive is under here. That is also a 10. And make sure these cables are loose. And then what you want to do is, that's not even really on. Sorry about that, folks. I accidentally hit the stop button. And of course, pry this up, and then take this. Hang on. That should come off. Just maybe push it towards the center of the engine bay, and then pry up on the front here. Like I said, push it toward the center of the engine bay and pry it up with the other hand. And then this thing can come off. This is where you wanted to get your flathead screwdriver. There's a tab over here. See if I can. A couple of tabs. One here, where my finger is, and one here. With a flathead screwdriver. Just stick it up under there and start prying. Again, don't go wild with it. It is plastic after all. And then this should come out. And then this reservoir, or whatever you want to call it, that can come out. See, hang on, there it is. That bolt down there, that's a 10mm. That's where your extensions come in. And there's another one. You can kind of see it there. Hang on a minute, folks. There it is. See where my finger is? It's right there. Kind of hard to see, I know. That is also a 10mm wrench. And then this moves up out of the way. You can put it up here. And then this thing, yeah, that moves up out of the way. But it kept coming back and slamming down onto the battery, so I used the zip tie to kind of secure it to this. It worked, so that's all that matters. And then the battery itself is held into place by a 13mm hold down right there where my finger is. Just take that off, and then the battery should come out. And when I took out the old battery, it was kind of dirty. I don't think it didn't appear to be leaking anything. But like I said, I think a good rule of thumb to follow is if you get a vehicle that's more than 5 years old, you might want to replace the battery just for a peace of mind, or at least have the battery checked at AutoZone or Advanced. And then, like I said, the old battery should just pull out, put the new one in, and put everything back together. And ever since I did that, it's been working fine. So I think that's what my problem was. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little tidbit. Like I said, that was for the 2016 and up GM trucks. And I suppose I can be applied to the SUVs and maybe even the cars. There's probably really not a whole lot of places to put that module that controls the XM screen. And here's something else I want to show you. We've all probably at least one time in our lives been locked out of your vehicle, right? I know I have, especially the Camaro. It's got the dumbest alarm system on it I've ever seen in my life. It was like that when I got it. I didn't put it on. It locks by itself after like maybe 30 seconds after you turn the key off and close the doors. Even if the key is still in the ignition, it'll still lock by itself. I can't really figure out a way to disable that feature. I don't think it's a GM alarm or anything like that. It appears to be aftermarket. I received no information on it. So anyway, what can you do to fix that if you are locked out of your vehicle? Yeah, you can call a locksmith, but what do they charge? 30, 40 bucks? 40 bucks is the last time I used one to get into my car. I'm sure now that price has gone up. Also, you can try calling your significant other, but are they going to be home? Maybe they're at work. What can you do? Well, here's what you can do. Get an extra key made. Maybe get some electrical wire or a way to fasten something like this will do. Here we are underneath the rear end of my Camaro. What you want to do is grab some wire and get your spare key and find a place to tie it to the frame of the vehicle like I have here. I know that knot or whatever I'm calling it may be a little excessive, but hey, it's what works. Inside the frame there is my extra key. Now in case I ever do get locked out again, or the car is up at Jensen's getting work done and they accidentally lock themselves out, they can go down here and get that key. And it's cheaper than finding and calling a locksmith and having him spend like 3 minutes to get into your car. Yeah, so that's what that wire is, and it's been like that for well over a year now. It just sits in there. Maybe you can also maybe drill a hole somewhere, get a bolt, a lock washer, and a wing nut, and secure the key that way. Or you can also get a magnetic key holder, but the problem with that is you go over a big enough bump, the magnetic key holder will fall off the car, and then you're screwed if you actually do lock yourself out. I hope that was helpful. If you ever been locked out, I suggest you do something like that, or maybe tell somebody that you know that's been locked out of their vehicle. It's actually very helpful, I think. Hello there, everybody. This is what I'm told is the site of the Kreamer drag strip. I wasn't that far off, actually, from last week. You can't really see much from the road. And there's really nothing there either to indicate there's a drag strip there. I was told last week that it was a 16th mile drag strip, but everything I've read about it said it was an 8th mile. Hi there, folks. It's Sunday evening at about 7:15. I think I'll end this week's video here. I was going to show you a few more things, but rain's coming and I wanted to get the grass mowed real quick, so hope you all had a great weekend, and I hope you all have a great week ahead of you. Stay safe out there.